Hello. Janet, Lance, Stephen, Julie, Artemis, how you doing, buddy? Christina, woohoo! Julie, Adrian, how's it going, my friend? Felicity, Linda, hello, how you doing? Dawn, Stephanie, woo! Diane, Julie, Suzanne. Thank you so much for coming on my tour today. Ava, Julie, Vicky, Dawn. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Edinburgh. The castle's barriered off today. Look, they've barriered off the castle for some reason. We're not even allowed to go up on the esplanade. They're quite strange. Well, shame for the tourists. They can come up, they can't even get to the castle. Look, they're all having to stand here. David, how you doing, buddy? Diane, hello from Pennsylvania. Welcome to Edinburgh. God, man, look. Girl's got a teddy, look, she's taking a selfie with a teddy. Oh, that's a groundhog. Is that a groundhog? Look, is that a groundhog she's got? Hello, David from Kansas City. Do you support the Kansas City Chiefs? Cynthia, Ashley Marie, Julie. How are you doing? Oh, the tour started. Oh, sorry, everyone, I didn't even know the tour had started. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining my tour today. I've obviously got the wrong time. I thought this tour was starting at 1 o'clock. Oh well, it just goes to show you. I thought my tour was at 1 o'clock. I forgot it was 12:45. What an absolute twat, look. I thought it was... Hello everyone who's joining. Thank you. Sorry if you've been waiting for quite a long time. I thought my tour was at 1 o'clock. For some reason, just as well I switched on now. What an absolute twat. How's it going, everybody? Is there anybody here for the very first time? My name is Paul, and I'm a tour guide here in Scotland. Today, I am back in my home city of Edinburgh. I'm still working. I've not finished my tour group yet. I'm still here. First time, Vicky, in the centre of the screen at the bottom is a white button. Hey, hello everybody. So somewhere on your screen will be a round white button. So if you press that button, it takes what we call a postcard feature. Okay, so I would not take a postcard of that. So I'll just show you if I can get near anywhere with all the tourists here. Yeah, so look, so there is the person who we are normally talking about today is Mary Queen of Scots. So if you take a picture if you press that white button, it will take a picture, a postcard of that there. And then you can save it to your device and keep it as a memento as your time here in Edinburgh. Also on the screen somewhere you might see a follow button. So if you can press follow, one way you can help the tour guides is by following our channel. And one more way you can help us is by following our channel. Somewhere on the screen where you might see a follow button. Julie M has just followed me. So somewhere on the screen, at the top or the bottom, it depends what device you're watching it on. If you can follow my channel, that helps the tour guides as well. This is free to watch, but it's a tip-based platform. So if you can afford to leave a tip, you can leave a tip at any point in the tour. You can actually go back on my channel and leave a tip after that. You can also sponsor me on a monthly basis for £10 a month. And you get exclusive content for that as well. Anything else? I think that's it, isn't it? So today is normally a tour about Mary Queen of Scots. So I was going to cancel the tour, to be honest, because of the funeral of the Queen is today. I think it's going on just now from 11 o'clock till 1 o'clock. So it should just be finishing. So today I'm just going to do a little talk about the connections between the royal family and Scotland and so on. I'm not going to do a particular tour about Mary Queen of Scots, okay? So I've put another tour up. So if you do want to hear about Mary Queen of Scots in particular, please sign up for my next tour. So today, if you want to leave, it's no problem. I'm not going to concentrate on Mary Queen of Scots today, but I'm going to do a little walk around Edinburgh. At the bottom of Edinburgh, where the Palace is, the Queen's official residence in Edinburgh is the Palace. So just at the side of that, they're showing a big screen of the funeral. So I'm going to go down there to let you see that, okay? So please stay on to the end. One other way you can help the tour guides is by taking hundreds or thousands of postcards. You don't have to save them, you can just take thousands of them, and it helps me. It doesn't get any financial reward. It helps their stats go up, So let's go for a walk around Edinburgh. It's a very different feeling today in Edinburgh. Most places are closed until the afternoon. So what I'm going to do, if you take a postcard of this scene here. Hey, Lexi, I never saw you coming in there. Sorry everyone who's coming in. Lexi, Deborah, Camilio, Barbara, Felicity, Sims, Dawn and Vicky and Julie, thank you for following. Anne, Irma, Megan, Felicity's first time, Priscilla, hello everybody, Mandy, how's it going everyone? So I'm going to turn the phone vertically. Okay, so for 5 seconds, how you doing Stephanie? For 5 seconds I'm going to turn the phone vertically, just so you can get a different angle of the buildings here, okay? So please just take lots of postcards on this tour. And if anybody wants to have any reflections about the Queen, any connections between you, your country and the Queen, please put a little chat in the box. I got offered to meet the Queen once. I heard a stat the other day there. The Queen is older than about 75% of the world's population. How mad is that? I'll repeat that. The Queen, I'm not sure of the exact figure, but I'm sure the Queen is older than was it like 90% or something, or 80% of the population? The Queen's older than them. So this is the Royal Mile of Edinburgh. I am in Edinburgh today. Edinburgh is the capital city of Scotland. And we're in the Old Town. Edinburgh is split into two main areas. I am in the Old Town, and in 1767, everyone used to live together in Edinburgh in the Old Town. But then in 1767, they built the New Town. And so a lot of the rich people left the Old Town and moved to the New Town. So I'm just going to show you a postcard view of the Old Town. I appreciate that there's some people here for the very first time. You might not have been to Edinburgh before. So I'm just going to show you this view of the New Town. Edinburgh is called the Athens of the North. Hello Kurt, Phil, John and Denise. Good morning. Ah, perfect. Yes, Artemis. Get out my way or I'll kick you. It's quite annoying when there's so many people about. They're trying to get good postcard shots and it's really annoying. G'day from Australia, mate. Malaya Malonga. So here's a nice view for you. See the postcard there? Isn't Edinburgh a very picturesque, postcard-friendly city? Beautiful. So this street here is called the Mound, and this connects the Old Town to the New Town here. Lovely, isn't it? So this is all the New Town area of Edinburgh. Hello everyone who's joining. Denise, Rebecca, Carol, Licia. So this is the New Town area of Edinburgh. You see the monument? That's the world's second largest monument to an author, the Sir Walter Scott Monument. We have the art galleries here, two National Art Galleries of Scotland as well. Isn't it beautiful? It's a beautiful day here in Edinburgh. I think it's about 18, maybe about 60 Fahrenheit, something like that. But it's a beautiful day here in Edinburgh. I'm going to go down to the park. I'm going to show you the official residence of the Palace of Holyrood. And the Queen liked to come to Edinburgh once a year in June. Hello everyone. Michelle, Jen, welcome to Edinburgh. Look at that beautiful postcard. Isn't it wonderful, everyone? So if anyone has any comments they would like to make about the Queen, I myself, I am not a monarchist. But I believe that people should show respect to the Queen, for the simple fact is she is a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother as well. So we have to give her that respect for the fact that she is just an ordinary human being. And she did dedicate her life from the age of 25. She really took on board the responsibilities of being a queen, I think, did Queen Elizabeth. So nobody can take that away from her. There has been people protesting here today. Priscilla, her mother was Scottish. The Queen Mother was Scottish, Elizabeth. No, the Queen was English. She loved Balmoral, yes. She definitely did love Balmoral. She loved Scotland. It was her happy place. And I think she came to Scotland to die. I think the Queen knew she was dying. And I think she came home to Scotland to die here. She spent 4 months of the year here in Balmoral in Scotland. Look at this guy here. I'm just going to get past you. Hello, Lorraine. How are you doing? Welcome to Edinburgh. The Royal Mile. Jana. Hello, yes, I'm on a tour with my tour group just now. We went to Balmoral yesterday. Was it, what day? 2 days ago. We went to Balmoral. I tried to take my tour bus into Balmoral, and we stopped to take some pictures. There was like all them flimmers, the memorial was there to the Queen, and then the police come and told us to leave. So I did go to Balmoral to pay homage to the Queen with my tour group. But all we did was manage to take a couple of photographs of the Queen. Not of the Queen, of the memorial and the palace and so on. So I was in Balmoral 2 days ago. And yeah, I do think she came here to die. She was not a granny when she came to Scotland. She was not the Queen when she came to Scotland. She just acted as a mother and a granny here. So she did really love Scotland and the people here. She loved Balmoral. She was a very well liked Queen as well. As I say, she did devote herself to her job, because at the end of the day it is a job she was doing, and she took on that role very seriously, I think. So let's see what happens going forward with the new monarch, Charles III. Charles III of Scotland. I don't think he is as well liked as what his mother was. So let's see how he responds. Oh, look. Hello. A wee Highland hairy coo. See the Highland coo? Or a Highland coo, we call them. Look at this, everyone. Look at the views. Isn't that stunning? Hairy coos. Here's a nice postcard for you. So just take lots of postcards. Everyone, I'm trying to get on the best postcard of the day. Look at the eagle with the rat. It's like it's dropping it off in the church, look. Sorry if you have any rats as a pet. I know one of the Voyagers, Emma B, she has a rat. Being an American, we have a weird relationship with Britain and the monarchy. But I have always respected her for the leader that she is. Yeah, lots of Americans like the Queen. And some Americans just don't know what it's all about. It's a kind of mixed bag, isn't it, with Americans over the Queen? Denise! Jolene! How you doing? Thank you very much for coming. My tour, I'm just showing you a nice postcard here of the rat. Look, it's going to drop it off somewhere. The eagle. Lovely, isn't it? So St Giles Cathedral. Hey, how you doing? I think St Giles Cathedral is opening at 1 o'clock. We'll try and go into the cathedral. If there's not a big queue, we'll go into the cathedral to see if what they've done inside there. Because her body did lay in state in Edinburgh here for a few days. When she left Balmoral, she went on a tour of Scotland. It's all been planned. You know, she came to Scotland to die. And the route, I think she had chosen the route that she wanted to go. You know, when she drove down to Edinburgh, I think she had planned that. So it was kind of like her last trip around Scotland, wasn't it? I think that's what she done. No rats for me. Senior term paper, the Black Plague. Marianne! How you doing? It's been planned for at least a decade. Yeah, I think she knew what was happening, you know. So you have to respect her for that, I think. Obviously, Queen Victoria, her great-great-great-grandmother, she also loved Scotland. It was her and Albert that bought Balmoral. So the royals have got a long-term affinity and connection to Scotland. And of course, through the female bloodline, the Queen was related to Mary Queen of Scots. You could actually loosely trace it back to Marjorie Bruce, the daughter of Robert the Bruce. I hope you can hear me above the noise of the bagpipes. Do you know the Queen gets woken up every morning by a bagpipe player? Every day at 9 o'clock, a bagpiper would come along and play for 15 minutes to wake up the Queen. Oh, Suzanne, was there a lone piper? Was there a piper at the funeral this morning, was there? Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, but it would be a kind of a shock to get woken up every day by a bagpiper, wouldn't it? Ah, Jana, that's a good point. The church killed all the cats because they thought they could change shape. They thought the devil could change shape into a cat or a dog or a bee or something like that. Dawn, it would get me out of bed too. Ah, yeah, exactly. Jason, Lance, how you doing, my good friend? How's life in the fast lane? He played Sleep, Dearie Sleep, her favourite. Oh, isn't that nice, eh? There's a nice postcard for you as well. St Giles Cathedral. And this is where the Queen lay in state for a couple of days. I think 36,000 people got in to see her. There's a big crowd going in just now. Do you think I should try and go in the church or just leave it? It's quite busy. I grew up in Brooklyn, so bagpipes were played at the New York Police Department. Oh, interesting. I have you on the screen, I'm on the room now. Yeah, let's go. I'll just keep on walking down the room. It's a beautiful day today. I'm going to go down to the Palace at Holyrood and show you the palace. We'll go into the park to see where the crowd is watching the funeral about as well. So that lady there, that's the traditional way. She's a bit of a character. Did you see the punk lady? It's only 7 a.m. here. Yeah, you got time difference to take into account as well. Yeah, it's a lot quieter in Edinburgh today. It's actually before the Queen even died. This is a local public holiday here in Edinburgh. So this was a public holiday anyway, but because the Queen died, they made it a public holiday for everybody. So yeah, so it's a bit quieter today. A lot of the shops and bars and visitor attractions, Edinburgh Castle is closed, and so on. So yeah, they're supposed to be opening back up at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I think. In fact, I'll just go and I'll quickly show you a relative of the Queen, actually. Forgot about this, I'll show you a relative of the Queen. And there's a guy getting whipped, look at that, the guy's getting whipped. No, I didn't think you would see that. There were two guys getting whipped. There you go. You just never know what you'll see in Edinburgh as you go about walking the streets of Edinburgh. Dad was a piper. Oh, Artemis, was he? Closed here. Grace, Stephanie, that's nice. So here's one of the Queen's relatives, King Charles II. Some people think he was a bit of a tyrant. He did sign the paperwork to allow Britain to deal in slavery. Unfortunately, this guy here, so yeah, he's a bit of a King Charles II. He's dressed as a Roman emperor. And this is the oldest lead statue in Britain. So this is one of the relatives of the Queen. As I say, the bloodline continues on the female side of the royal family. And you've got to remember as well, the union of the crowns between Scotland and England is a separate union between England and Scotland. The union of the crowns happened in 1603 when the son of Mary Queen of Scots took over the English throne when Queen Elizabeth died of England. And then the Scots took over the English crown, remember. So just as to point out as well, Queen Elizabeth in Scotland is not Queen Elizabeth II, she is Queen Elizabeth I, because Queen Elizabeth was Scotland and England were separate countries at that point. So we have never had a Queen Elizabeth I, only this one. I'm going to just turn the phone vertically for you. This guy here is a famous Adam Smith. He's well known around the world. He wrote The Wealth of Nations. He believed in equal pay for workers. He believed in a good rate of pay. And if you paid the workers more money and you did not work them as hard, then you would get more work out of them. So that is Adam Smith, The Wealth of Nations. Normally this street would be full of street performers and so on. All kind of different activities going on, but as you can see, it is quite quiet. There's some getting set up now, right enough. I think everyone's kind of waiting until 1 o'clock. A lot of places are opening at that point as well. Hopefully King Charles has a better time of it than Charles I or II. Yeah, well, King Charles I he was the grandson of Mary Queen of Scots, of course, the son of King James VI of Scotland. King Charles I, he was the last king born in Scotland. And of course the English responded by chopping his head off too, Oliver Cromwell. We did get the revenge on Oliver Cromwell. When he died, he was re-exhumed and hung, and his head was displayed on a spike outside Westminster until somebody stole it. Yeah, exactly, Artemis. Definitely. So as you can see, it is a little bit busy. Edinburgh does get a lot of tourists in September. During August, Edinburgh holds the world's largest arts festival. But then in September, a lot of couples come because there's no children here. Okay? Hello everyone who's joining, Katie and Mika. I'm going to do a vertical shot for the Tron Kirk. I'm just going to turn the phone for a couple of seconds, okay? Just so you can get the Tron Kirk in here. This is a Tron Kirk. Tron means beam in Scots. Tron means beam. So it is a very photogenic city, Edinburgh. So if you do come to Edinburgh, please hook me up. Add me as a friend on Facebook, Paul James Stewart. You can also post your postcards on Facebook Voyagers, if you can join the Facebook Voyagers page. And you can tag me as well. And that is another way you can help the tour guides here on Hago. It's very beautiful here. Stephanie. Wow. Jana, Charles would be more effective. Yes. Yes, exactly, I agree with that. Yes, advocate, just bypass Charles. He's not very well liked, Charles, to be honest. He'll not have anywhere near the same level of respect or warmth that Queen Elizabeth had. Yeah, I think he should abdicate. He's not well liked, you know. So I think the way he treated Diana was not very nice. And also, I don't think he's just a very nice man, to be honest. I don't know. I've never met him. But, you know, you see a lot of reports in the paper about him. So I think he's got a lot of work to do to catch up on and getting anywhere near the popularity that his mother had. He did suffer a bad childhood, actually. He had a pretty miserable childhood. He was packed off to a Scottish boarding school in Gordonstoun, and seemingly he was severely abused as a child. He used to suffer regular beatings from the fellow residents of the school and so on. So I think Charles did not have a very nice childhood. So maybe we have to cut him some slack, you know. But let's see what happens there. I don't know. But look at this, everyone. We've got a Christmas. We've got about 3 Christmas shops in Edinburgh. Look, the Nutcracker Christmas shop. It's open 320 days of the year. Can you believe that? And there is at least 3 of them in Edinburgh. Scotland is famous. Oh look, there's the castle. There's where I was at Loch Ness. Was anyone on my Loch Ness? Yeah, Julie, I saw that. So there's the castle. I tried to do a tour last week from Loch Ness, and that's where it was from. You get no signal there. It's a terrible, man. You actually get a bit. There's no signal here, right, on land. When you go out into the loch, you get a signal. How is that? How can you go out into... Oh, look what they've done with the turnips. How can you go out into the loch and get a full signal? Exactly, Lexi. Full signal on the loch. Snowballs, they're brilliant name. I like them. Turnip snowballs. And I don't like tea cakes so much. You get shortbread, gluten-free shortbread now and everything. Look at that. There's a Highland coo again. Hey! Oh, in fact, look at that one. That's a nice one, look. Just lying down chewing the cud. So Edinburgh is a very photogenic city. For some of you who might not been. Oh, look here. So they put this up for the Queen. Of course, the shop's not closed. If they really wanted to respect the Queen, I'm sure they would have closed. But it's a tourist shop. You can't blame them for opening, you know. Yeah, everyone. World life still goes on, doesn't it? You know, it's like when you lose a close family member as well. As harsh as it is, life still goes on. You know, the world doesn't stop. So they do tell you time is a great healer. So here is 2 of Edinburgh's oldest houses outside of the castle. John Knox's house. These are both 16th century houses here. The foundations go back to about 1540s. Something like that, so isn't it?
Oh yeah.
John Knox's house and Mowbray House as well. Lovely houses. So there we go, isn't it lovely? So this is called the Royal Mile of Edinburgh. And because the castle sits at the top and the palace sits at the bottom, where we're going to go and see just now. So it's called the Royal Mile. And this is where the Queen's body was taken last week. They brought it to the Palace of Holyrood. And then Charles and all them came up to Edinburgh and they walked her coffin to the St Giles Cathedral. It stayed there for a couple of days and then the body was taken down to London. We've all seen it on the news recently. I think it was about 400,000 people trying to queue up and see it or something like that. Oh, I can smell some nice food. So as you can see, some of the bars are open. Joyce! Robert, how you doing? So, this is Edinburgh. Wonderful city. Population of about 550,000. 20% or thereabouts of the population are actually students as well. Edinburgh has 6 universities. Look at this, everyone. English spoken, American understood. What is a good tasty Scottish dish? In Scotland you cannot go wrong with homemade soup. You get steak pie, salmon is good, haggis, mince and tatties. A lot of Scottish people don't have a very good diet because of poverty reasons, to be honest. So again, it depends on how much money you earn as to how good you can eat, isn't it? So if you've got lots of money, you'll live for longer. Like the Queen, she lived till 96. There's actually an area in Scotland where people die at 56. So it just shows you, having all that wealth and fame and fortune and all the best chefs cook for you every day, you can add 40 years onto your life. Philip was 99. Her mother was 103 or something like that. So it's funny how all the royal families live till a fair old age, but most ordinary people don't, isn't it? How's that? I never thought about that before. I wonder if I'll get to see 96. I'm only 22 just now, of course. These wrinkles are not wrinkles. I'm only 22. I had a hard life. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, if you've got people to help and you're eating all the best food every day. I mean, if I was rich, I'd have a personal chef. I'd employ a chef and I'd eat all organic food. So you can understand what happened. Poor diet. Oh yes, Stephanie, you're too clever. My son's 21. I forgot about that. Oh look, this might be the funeral over, is it? Is the funeral finished, everyone? Look, there's loads of people coming up. Look. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a coughing fit here going on. Can you let me know, everyone, what's happening with the funeral just now? Is the funeral still going on? I haven't seen any of it this morning. I've been, I had a coach tour, I had to do a tour for 3.5 hours with my tour group this morning. So I was the tour guide in Edinburgh for my tour group today. The procession is still going back to the palace, okay. I'm so bloody gullible, I really had to think about that age thing for a bit, Vicky. Sylvia! How you doing? So there's loads of people coming up, but this makes me think that possibly a part of the funeral itself is over. I don't know. See, there's too many people to get a post. I was going to try and get a postcard for you, but too many people. This is the Queen's Church in Edinburgh here. The last time I came here, it was open. I actually got to go inside this church the last time I done a tour, I think. I went inside to show everyone the Queen's cushion. That was before the Queen died, right enough, I think. I can't remember. Look at all that's the Outlander fans. Any Outlander fans here? Look, Bakehouse Close. This features in Series 3 of Outlander, Jamie's printing shop. So this is the Royal Church of Edinburgh here. So this is where the Queen comes. And you'll see the antlers at the top. You see there's a little stag. I'll zoom in. You see the stag at the top? They're actually real antlers. Julie, hello Julie. Robert. See the antlers on the stag? They're actually real. And they actually come from Balmoral. So one of the royal family might have killed a deer actually. Every year they have to kill so many deer on the Balmoral estate. So every 2 years, because of the weather being so bad here in Edinburgh, they have to replace the antlers. But I'm just going to show you a tree, everyone. So this tree here was actually... So see this tree here? This was planted by the Queen and her mum in 1947. Really, Outlander was filmed at that shop. Yes, in Series 3. Series 3. And Lexi. So look, this was planted by the Queen. Yeah, I never watched Series 3 either. I don't like Money Prince Charlie. Look. Postcard, everyone. Postcard. Planted by Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth on the 17th of July in 1947. She wasn't the Queen then. I think she became the Queen. What year did the Queen become the Queen? Was it 52? 53? or 50. Can someone tell me when was the Queen become Queen? What year? I think it was about 3 years after his visit to Edinburgh. I can't remember. If anyone could fact check that for me, that would be fantastic. So this is where the Queen comes when she comes to Edinburgh. She goes to church here. 51? Yeah, I thought about that as well. 50, 51, something. 52. That was close. So this is an ancient... Ah, right enough, 52, 70 years, that makes sense. At least there's somebody sensible here, Artemis. Thank you, buddy. A nice postcard for you there, of the old Royal High Music School. That's getting turned into Scotland's National Music Centre now. The building there you can see in front of us. So I'm quite excited about that. That's the new town over there. We're in the old town here. Lovely, isn't it? So I'm just want to show you the view in here before we continue the walk. As I said, I'm not doing a tour about Mary Queen of Scots today. I did not want to cancel the tour because there was people booked on it. So I thought I'll just do the tour. And I'll just have a general talk about the Queen in Edinburgh and so on. So that's why I'm doing this tour today. You can hear my boots on the gravel. They've just relayed the paths here, making quite a crunchy noise. Can you hear it, yeah? I'll try and stay off the path. Oh, I just about fell there. Can you hear that? Don? Yes, Janet from Camden. Yes, Janet, I said at the start of the tour, I'm not, out of respect for the Queen, I'm not going to do a tour about Mary Queen of Scots today. I thought it'd just be too, because I like to try and make people laugh and I make flippant comments and so on. So I had a couple of messages from various people, maybe recommending that I don't do my normal type of tour. It might not be appropriate. So I kind of agreed with that. So I've put up another tour for Mary Queen of Scots. Can somebody put a link up to my channel or my tours, please, for Mary Queen of Scots? I have got a tour coming up about Mary Queen of Scots, but I just thought it wasn't appropriate, Janet, to do it today. You know, so that's why. But it is normally about that, Janet. Sorry if you missed that. But why are you all saying yes? What did I say there? I've forgotten what I said. Why are you all saying yes? Oh, can you hear the sound? That's what it was. I'm forgetting. Sometimes I get waylaid. Apologies for that. But yes, so I just thought it wasn't appropriate to do a tour about Mary Queen of Scots today. I just thought, you know, I'll do the... Oh, the tower, sorry man. Yeah, that's what it was. Thanks, Don. You hear the crunch? Yes, I got it. So that there is Nelson's monument. That is a replica of an upturned telescope. And it was the original time signal. You can see at the top of the tower is a white cross. Well, just before 1 o'clock, there's a large ball there. So just before 1 o'clock, the ball would rise up to the top, and then at exactly 1 o'clock, the ball would drop down. It was a way of alerting the sailors in the dock area of Edinburgh in the sea. It was so they could set their satellite navigational systems at the time, which would be a chronometer. However, Edinburgh is covered in fog and rain and mist quite a lot, so they could hardly see it. So it was built in 1853, but then in 1861 they introduced the time signal, the 1 o'clock gun in the castle. So at 1 o'clock every day, the gun goes off so sailors can set their satellite navigations. Obviously they don't need to do it now, but it's just for the tourists essentially. But that is the original time signal. It's called Nelson's Monument, okay? Nelson's Monument. It still works. It still works today. I'm back on the path now. Crunch, crunch. It's like eating a crunchy. Look. You see the statue? Oh, thanks for putting links up, everyone. Yeah, so if you want to come on my Mary Queen of Scots tour, please book that in the future. I do Mary Queen of Scots tours quite regular because it's a very popular tour. It's actually my favourite tour, to be fair. A nice postcard for you as well. In memory of Lieutenant Colonel Gary Tate. Lest we forget. It's lovely that, isn't it, actually? I've never seen that before. I wonder if it's quite new. Hello, Joe and Wayne. This is just a general tour about Edinburgh today. I'm not doing a tour about Mary Queen of Scots because it's the Queen's funeral. So as a mark of respect, I'm just going to do a general tour about Edinburgh. And we're going to go down to the Palace of Holyrood, okay? So there's a nice statue. See the snake? The goat. Quite a strange looking thing, isn't it? Woohoo! In fact, this is one thing to do with Mary Queen of Scots here. This is believed to be the grave of David Rizzio, who was the personal secretary for Mary Queen of Scots, who was murdered in front of her when she was 6 months pregnant. David Rizzio. If you watch the Mary Queen of Scots movie, you'll see it. So there, but do you notice how it says, tradition says, this is the grave of David Rizzio, transported from Holyrood, because they don't actually know if it's his grave or not. It's one of these ones, you know. But yeah, so apologies for not doing the tour about Mary Queen of Scots. I just thought a couple of people messaged me, 2 or 3 people messaged me. Oh look, there's another tree planted by the Queen. I didn't know that. Look at that. This tree was planted by Her Majesty the Queen in June 1953. Well, I didn't know that. So there you go, another tree. They've not got a plaque here, I don't think, mentioning that. So again, is it a cherry blossom? I think it's a cherry blossom, isn't it? I think it's the same as the other one. There you go. Yeah, I had to. I felt I had to do that. I had a couple of people wiser than me contact me and suggest it to me. I can be quite controversial with my tours and so on. So yeah, I decided just to calm myself down today, to be honest. I did cause quite a bit of controversy yesterday, talking about something in particular. One lady wasn't very impressed with what I was saying, and that is the problem with me. Some people get what I'm trying to do, but some people don't get me, so I understand that. I have tour guides that I don't get. Look at this, everyone. So I can understand that. Was it even before the tour started? I've not had an email from Hago yet, but that doesn't mean anything. They might be on holiday. Look at this dude, man, that looks like me. Yeah, I might have an email at some point. She might not have complained, I don't know, but I did have I had somebody fall out with me over my cannabis tour as well. One of my voyagers contacted me privately and fell out with me. As I'm saying, you cannot please everybody. But yeah, such is life, you know. We just all struggle on and do what we can do. A new record. By Twin, exactly. I think they did great. I was on that tour. It's a free tour, I know. People, yeah, because people complained about my cannabis tour, right? My cannabis tour is for sponsors only. The people who complained can't even attend my tour. Why the heck would you complain about a tour that somebody is doing that you cannot even attend because it's a private tour? I don't understand some people, but anyway, such is life. As I say, you can't please everybody. And see the pig. Oink. Oink, oink. We cut up a roast pig every day. A hog roast. And carve it up, we get hog roast rolls. And so on. So we're coming down now to the Palace of Holyrood. It should start getting busier down here. Caroline and Det, hello. Stephanie, that sounds yummy. Yes. I've never had one. They leave the whole pig there with the head on and all that. I was vegetarian for 23 years. Even though I'm only 22. This is part of the Parliament building, you see it? Lovely, isn't it? Well, it's getting quite busy here. So this is the Palace of Holyrood coming up. I'm going to show you a little close, right? The signal might drop here. So bear with me. If the signal drops, I'll come right back out, okay? Joe, this is my very first tour here. This is really great. Joe, I normally do slightly different type of tours than this. I try and make people laugh and use slightly adult content and so on. But yeah, I just thought as a mark of respect for the Queen today, I'll just calm myself down for a change. So I'm going to go in here, right, but the signal might drop, so bear with me everyone, okay? So look at this. This is called White Horse Close. They reckon this could be named after Mary Queen of Scots' favourite white horse, who was kept in stables nearby here. But if you see this building in front of me, this was actually a bar, a pub called the White Horse Inn. So it's more likely White Horse Close is named after the pub. And it dates back to 1623. Can you see it? Look, beautiful here, isn't it? Can you favourite guides? Yeah, follow my channel, Joe. If you see on the screen somewhere, follow. If you're not already following, follow my channel. But look at this, I've got a full signal. Look at this, isn't it beautiful? Are they guys away? Look, just going to go here. Show you this. Look at it, isn't it lovely? Thank you, Joe. Ah, thanks, Artemis. Nice of you to say so. Lovely here, isn't it? I do love this. I would not like to live here. Oh, gee whiz, man, the tourists that come here. Can you imagine all the tourists here? But it's beautiful, isn't it? Lovely little close called White Horse Close. So if you do come to Edinburgh, you must come in and visit this place. No privacy, I know. Yeah, I wouldn't like to live here. If there was a gate on the door, I would live here. But yeah, you wouldn't want to live here. It's so busy. Yeah, like it's quite quiet today, obviously, but yeah, it can get like tour group after tour group after tour group coming here. And if you look here, people from Edinburgh will not know nothing about this. But look at this, White Horse Close. Look, we have a charity vet called the Dick Vet. If you have got an animal, right, and you cannot afford to get a vet, because vets are very expensive, well, this guy here, William Dick, he was the founder of the Edinburgh Veterinary College, incorporated into the University of Edinburgh in 1951 as the Royal Dick School of Veterinary Studies, and in 1964 instituted the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. So if you have got no money, you can take your animal to the Dick Vet, and it's free. Isn't that amazing, everyone? It's free. There's a free vet in Edinburgh called the Dick Vet. Because a lot of people who have pets maybe are on benefits or welfare, or they could have lost their job. Isn't that amazing? It's called the Dick Vet. So there we go, last postcard opportunity, everyone. I hope you're all taking lots of pictures, postcards. Dawn, like the PDSA. We have got the PDSA as well, actually. So the signal's just dropped, so I'm going to go out for a second, okay? So hopefully the signal will pick back up in a minute. I'll go and show you the palace. Took 82. You can take 820 if you like. Suzanne, Suzanne, have you seen the new feature on Hago? On the Hago channel, right, you can actually go back and see what happened on Hago yesterday. And what it does is it tells you who took the most postcards, or what tour had the most postcards, sorry. Robert, I only take pictures of lavatories. Yeah, that was yesterday at St Andrews, wasn't it? But yeah, it's just a bit of fun, you know. Here we go. It's just a bit of fun with the postcards between the tour guides. Yeah, so Suzanne, yeah, you can go back on the app and look at yesterday. My tour in St Andrews had about 4,000 postcards, but somebody had 18,000 postcards. So yeah, take hundreds and thousands of postcards, everyone. We don't get any money for it. I wish we did. I wish we got money for every postcard. Every 1,000 postcards we get £1 or something like that, you know. Karen Elaine, you're late today. In fact, we're over the tour. It's 49 minutes, everyone. Sorry about that. I'm going to go round to the palace just now, okay? Look at this bit. St Andrews was lovely. Thank you, Stephen. It's a nice little place. It was freezing cold. Gee whiz. Actually, beautiful today here in Edinburgh, but it's a beautiful day here in Edinburgh. It's lovely, isn't it? No problem, Karen. No problem at all. I'm going to put a link up anyway. I'll try and download the video. And let's see, here's another memorial to the Queen over here. Look. Hey, we've all got life to lead, you know. So like they've put up more stuff for the Queen over here as well, around the trees. Oh, look at all these, everyone. 1 second, I'll just show you this. Oh, look, what do you hold? Do you think this is? Look at the hole. What animal do you think that is? A mole? No, a bit of rabbit, eh? Look, so we've got a memorial here to the Queen. Oh, look, here's one with Paddington. Look. I'll zoom in on that. We'll meet again. Don't know where. Don't know when. But I know we'll meet again some sunny day. People were taking marmalade sandwiches to the Queen. I think the people and the Queen, the authority says don't have any more marmalade sandwiches. Give them to the food banks, you know. Giselle, I'm on to work. Dave, don't worry, man. As I say, it was just a walk about Edinburgh today. Just doing a little tour to respect the Queen. I didn't want to go hardcore on the Mary Queen of Scots story today, to be honest. So, as you can see, all the people have come to the palace and they've left their memorials, the flowers. I just wish the money had went to food banks instead of wasting all this money on flowers, to be honest. I mean, think of all the food banks that could have been helped with all this. You know, homeless people, they could have fed a lot of people. So I think, but people do like to pay their respect in various different ways, you know, so I'm not attacking anybody for that. I just think it would have been a nice idea if it had went to a food bank or a homeless charity instead of the flowers. The florists make a lot of money, you know. So there we go, here's the Palace of Holyrood, everyone. So this is where the Queen comes she did come every June. She hosts a garden party for about 3,000 people here. I've never been invited to the garden party. I did get offered to meet the Queen once, right enough, but I'm not going to tell that story today because it's not appropriate. I'll tell you another time. So you can see just behind, can't get my arm through. So just behind it, see here, that's the Abbey of Holyrood. So that dates back to around 1128, destroyed by King Henry VIII. I know what you're saying, Vicky. So there we go, that's where the Queen used to come and spend a week of the year. She liked it here in Edinburgh as well, but she liked Fliss. She liked to come here to Edinburgh as well. She preferred Balmoral, but because there's more privacy and more land, you know. There's a unicorn. The flowers will just get turned into compost, I would imagine. Surely they're not going to put them in landfill. Surely they'll make compost out of them. I don't know, but hopefully they will. So let's go and see what's in the park on before the tour finishes. This is the Scottish Parliament building in front of us here, this modern, very modern looking building. You can see here, this is Scotland is not yet an independent country. We have a system called devolution. So we have a parliament. All the flags are at half-mast. See, you've still got the EU flag flying in Edinburgh. So let's go. So I'll quickly try and see if what's happening with the funeral, everybody. What's going on with the funeral? So this is the Scottish Parliament building, and do you see how we've got bars on the windows? That's so the politicians can't escape. We can't trust them. They're on their way to Windsor. Do you think Scotland will become independent? At some point. I hope so. I support Scottish independence. I have supported Scottish independence for 7 years, ever since I was 15. So I'm 22 now, so that's 7 years I have supported independence for. So you can see you've still got crowds here. As I say, the Queen did have a lot of respect here in Scotland and around the world. They reckon it might be one of the world's biggest ever TV audiences, I was hearing as well. So I don't know how true that's going to be. My friend just came back from Glasgow. Well, I'm standing in the middle of the road here, everyone. Watch 1 second. And loved it in Scotland. And how the fish is very good here. Plus, the fish is very good. Scotland, being the second oldest country in Europe, deserves independence. Yeah, of course it does. Every country should be independent. Even England. I mean, don't get me wrong, if Scotland and Wales ever left England, England would really suffer. They would struggle. Because Scotland supplies England with the energy and Wales supplies England with the water. So England would really struggle if they were an independent country. And that's why there's not very many people in England want independence for England. So it's a strange one. The hearse is now arriving at Westminster. Who are the other countries? What other countries, What? I don't understand that, They would still help each other out, of course they would. We'd just sell them it. We would just sell them oil and gas and wind. There has been some protesters here in Edinburgh today. I heard some protesters earlier on today. There's a tour bus coming in. Is that my tour bus? I was on that bus this morning. See this bus here? Who's this? Wonder if that's one of my tour groups. I recognise the driver. That's one of my tour groups. Wales and what other countries want independence? Alright, no, England doesn't want independence, I'm saying. If Scotland and Wales ever became independent, England would be alone with Northern Ireland. And Northern Ireland doesn't really contribute too much to the economy. They haven't got much there. A lot of the jobs in Northern Ireland are dependent on the state, the authorities, the councils, the governments, the national health and so on. So this is where the screens were set up. Catalonia, they want independence. Parts of Spain, yeah, the Basque region, the Basques. So this is where the funeral was. This is where everyone's leaving now. You can see it. Some Australians, yeah. Some want the monarchy. I think after the Queen dies, I think the British monarchy will be on a downward spiral, to be completely honest with you, everyone. As I say, I don't think Charles is very well liked because of the situation with Camilla and Diane, Princess Diana. I think William and Kate are quite well liked, but I don't know. The Republic of Yorkshire, well, join Scotland, buddy. You can join Scotland if you like. So it seems like the funeral's over now, is it? Most of the crowd are leaving. I've got no idea why they set up a big stand outside here, because what if the weather was bad? Nobody would have come if the weather was that bad. Yep. So I'm just going to show you the crowd. There's still a bit of crowd here. So let's see what's on the screen. I'll just quickly try and get a bit over there before the hour comes up. I don't like to try and go over the hour, if I can help it, although sometimes I do. But let's go and see. Looks like there's been a few thousand people here. You know? If I was coming here, I'd have brought my camping chair with me, to be honest. You have to bear in mind as well, Edinburgh itself is a very English city.
That needs to be said about
Oh, here we go.
everything that's achieved over that long lifetime. And that's really why I think that people have wanted to come out. It's a mark of thanks as well, not just of admiration. It's saying thank you as well as farewell.
It is, Hugh, and I suspect
Yes, Scotland would still be a monarchy.
with rain.
The monarchy doesn't, the independence doesn't stop the monarchy. It's a different
It
union.
would be very British.
It would be terribly British, but I think the fact
Quite a
that
big screen, isn't it?
left the Abbey and the clouds parted and the sun came down, it was a wonderful moment to see that spectacle bathed in sunshine, and those rainbows that you point out, I think, struck so many people. The double rainbow over Buckingham Palace, the rainbow over Windsor Castle. We'll all be looking out for a rainbow later on today.
Indeed, we will. And as you were saying, Robert, we're in a position where we are
No problem.
reflecting what's gone on today, but of course we're also looking ahead to the final part.
So you can see there's still a few people here.
State
I think most of the crowd have left after the funeral finished, you know.
These people are clearly...
It's been quite nice weather this morning, but here in Edinburgh.
Goodbye, and thank you for all you've done.
They are, and
It's
here,
been
here
quite
we
nice
see
here.
Her
You
late
can see
Majesty
still a few
coming
hundred
past
here.
the memorial to Prince Albert, that extraordinary memorial, 150 years old this year, the Albert Memorial, which Queen Victoria spent so much love on. I mean, it makes you think, what on earth are we going to put up to commemorate this extraordinary monarch who is leaving the capital for the last
Here we go.
time.
Bye-bye, Majesty.
You know, everything about
Thank
it,
you
there
for all
was a
your
sort
hard
of
work.
timelessness to it. I thought that you saw the troops massing in front of Wellington's old house at Hyde Park Corner. It could have been the 19th century. I mean, and yet we have all these
So
sort of
there we go,
modern
everyone.
aspects to it.
I hope you've enjoyed this kind of walk about Edinburgh today.
And there is 21st century Britain saluting really one of the greats.
No matter what your opinions are on the monarchy,
It's a wonderful power.
you have to respect the hard work that the Queen put into her role. I wouldn't call it a job. I would call it a role. She had a role in life, and she certainly fulfilled that to the best of her abilities. She was very dedicated. But I just hope now they modernise. They need to really modernise the monarchy, you know. It's quite antiquated in a lot of areas. So hopefully at some point, if William becomes king, he did allow, when he was younger, he said he wanted homeless people to live in the Buckingham Palace. So let's see what happens there. So I've got a volcano tour coming up, by the way. So if you want me to see me climb the volcano, please join my channel. Follow my channel and join me on tour. And I'm going to climb the volcano for the most panoramic, beautiful views of Edinburgh, everybody. So thank you so much for coming on my tour today. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Just a reminder, this is a tip-based platform. If you enjoyed the tour, you can leave a tip. If not, you can leave a 5-star review. You can share some postcards and so on. And thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to go and do some more work now. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you so much for sticking by me.